Hello, and welcome back to The Power of Now, a guide to spiritual enlightenment with Gilda and Barbara. Today, we're doing a book study on A New Earth, Awakening to Your Life's Purpose, written by Eckhart Tolle, and we hope that you have your copy so that you can follow along. Today, we are on Chapter 10, Section 8, A New Earth, Acceptance. My name's Barbara Wainwright, and I'm here with Gilda Simonet. Welcome, Gilda.
Thank you. Acceptance. Whatever you cannot enjoy doing, you can at least accept that this is what you have to do. Acceptance means, for now, this is what this situation, this moment requires me to do. And so I do it willingly. We already spoke at length about the importance of inner acceptance of what happens, and acceptance of what you have to do is just another aspect of it. For example, you probably won't be able to enjoy changing the flat tire on your car at night in the middle of nowhere and in pouring rain, let alone be enthusiastic about it. But you can bring acceptance to it. Performing an action in the state of acceptance means you are at peace while you do it. That peace is a subtle energy vibration, which then flows into what you do. On the surface, acceptance looks like a passive state, but in reality, it is active and creative because it brings something entirely new into this world. That peace, that subtle energy vibration, is consciousness. And one of the ways in which it enters this world is through surrendered action, one aspect of which is acceptance.
If you can neither enjoy or bring acceptance to what you do, stop. Otherwise, you are not taking responsibility for the only thing you can really take responsibility for, which also happens to be the one thing that really matters: your state of consciousness. And if you are not taking responsibility for your state of consciousness, you are not taking responsibility for life. Well, this section is super important, just like all the other sections that he wrote in this book. The key thing here is that being in a state of acceptance and allowing that energy, that subtle energy vibration that flows into what you do, will make everything unfold with ease. And you might say, yeah, but changing a tire in the middle of the night when it's raining outside, how can that be easy? Well, when you're in a state of acceptance, that's when you'll recognize that the universe is working for you, not against you. And that situation happened for you. Maybe something will occur that will be synchronistically aligned with your moment. Maybe a tow truck will happen along and help you change the tire. You will attract to you what you need in the moment once you surrender.
I feel like I had to practice acceptance when I didn't have a phone for 3 weeks. That was really, really stressful because you kind of need your phone these days, and for me, a lot of my bills were tied into my phone. Just like everything I did was kind of like through my phone. And so when I didn't have it for 3 weeks, it was pretty stressful. And I remember taking it to the shop to have them fix it, and they made it seem like it was just going to be like a few days. But then that few days kind of turned into a couple of weeks. And I really did have to practice presence and practice breathing and being in the moment and really just kind of looking at what was in front of me at that time. Because the more that like I thought about not having a phone and not, and thinking about like all the things that could be happening right now. Is my mom okay? Is someone trying to get a hold of me and they can't and they think I'm just ignoring them? Just like any little thought that could come up would definitely try to come up. And I really had to kind of practice surrender throughout all that because it was really, really stressful. Like the amount of acceptance I had to practice was pretty huge. And I remember people asking me like, "Man, like how did you go without a phone for so long?" And it's just like, I don't know. I guess I did just surrender to it all because if I didn't, I probably would have gone insane. Because just like every little thought that could come up would come up. So I know that was something recently that I really had to practice acceptance on.
I can imagine that a lot of fear would come up. Did that happen for you?
Yes, a lot of fear, because it's like I'd be driving to work and I was just like, man, like what happens if like my car breaks down, like who am I
Right,
gonna call?
right.
Like how am I gonna
How am
get
I
through
going to get
this?
help?
Yeah, like
How will
I guess
anybody
trust a
know?
stranger,
Right?
but
I'll be stuck on the side of the road without any way to do anything. Oh my gosh. So yeah, that would be kind of scary. I would
yeah.
imagine.
So I just remember driving, just like everything's working out in my favor. I'm safe. I'm protected. Like that was literally my whole thought process. Not once was I like, oh my gosh, like, am I gonna get a flat? Or,
Yeah.
my ego wants to do all those things, but I was just like, no, just you're in the moment. Your car is working for you. What a blessing that you still have your car and it's getting you where you need to go, that you have a job, I just kind of started thinking about everything to be grateful for because otherwise I would probably go insane.
Right. Yeah, you didn't give fear a chance to creep in. You kept your mind focused on all the things that you had gratitude for. It's amazing. It's really a great practice, and it just shows that being in acceptance of what is and being in gratitude for all the things that you do have can be very powerful in shifting your energy. You could have gone into fear, you could have gone into anger, right? Resistance. I mean, you could have had a lot of things happen and you didn't because you got into acceptance and went, okay, this is the situation. And look at all the wonderful and amazing things that I'd be grateful for in my life.
That's so true. And I remember my friend Sam, he was like, it's okay to be mad about this situation because, they kept like postponing when it would be ready. And then at the end of the day, like after almost 2 weeks, like they couldn't even fix it. So I ended up just getting a new phone. But which sounds silly, but like I really wanted
Uh,
the things that were in my phone and I didn't want to lose them. And it was just one of those things where I had to even accept that, like, okay, you're gonna have to accept that you might not get some of these things back when you do get a new phone. And
right,
that
right.
ended up being the case, which is okay still. I guess I just
Yeah.
have a clean slate now. I can start over again. But yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty frustrating. I can imagine it being extremely frustrating to lose access to your phone and everything on it and then have to start over from scratch. But thank goodness that you were able to be in acceptance of that and, you know, keep going because I love what he said. It's that subtle energy vibration that happens when you are in acceptance of what is. I first heard acceptance is the key to serenity when I was in a 12-step program called Codependence Anonymous. And that was an interesting concept to me at that time. Acceptance is the key to serenity. What does that mean? Like, do I want serenity? Hmm, maybe I do. Okay, so that means I need to accept my situation. Well, wait a minute. Right now, I think my situation sucks. I have to accept it only if I want serenity. Well, I kind of want serenity. I think I do anyway. So, what do I have to do? I have to be in acceptance.
Yeah, I don't know. Looking back at my life, I feel like acceptance plays a huge part in my survival today because otherwise I probably would be looking at it just like going crazy. Like, what's wrong with people? Like, what's wrong with you? Like, how could you treat, me like this or treat other people like that? But I've just gone into acceptance like, okay, that's just how my life was, or those were my experiences and I do accept it. Just remember, acceptance means recognizing reality as it is without fighting it.
Without fighting it. I love it. Yeah, it's right.
It
You can,
doesn't mean that you have to like what's happening or that you approve of it. It just means that you stop wasting energy arguing with the facts that you can't change.
perfect. It is an energy suck. If you are angry, upset, or resisting something, it takes a lot of energy. Things go much more smoothly when you're in acceptance. The energy that comes through is peace. I'll leave you with that thought for the rest of the week. Bye now, everyone.
Bye.
If you've enjoyed this podcast and you'd like to go deeper into a spiritual conversation, you can join our Facebook group, The Power of Now, A Guide to Spiritual Enlightenment with Gilda and Barbara. Or you can contribute by going to wainwrightglobal.com/go/support.